Hey you guys, so today I will be working in this area here. This is the planting bed that leads to our kitchen door, and it also is right next to our driveway. So I usually plant a lot of beautiful annuals here in the spring to enjoy for the rest of the summer, but this spring I had no time to plant anything. I didn't even have time to mulch. So what happened is that all of the self-seeders from my garden and also weeds took over the space. So I'm going to take this back and remove all of the self-seeders and weeds and plant some plants that I got in the nursery a couple of days ago. So let's get started. Okay, so this area here I already weeded. It only took me like 15 minutes. And then I have to weed the rest of it right here. So I'm actually gonna start working as I'm kind of explaining to you what's going on here. So most of the plants here are actually self-seeders from my garden, like the snakeroot and some of the Joe Pye weed. And I leave snakeroot here for late season pollinators, but I do control it most of the time because it is a very aggressive native. So before you plant an aggressive native, make sure that you're ready to control it. Snakeroot is very easy to control. They're easily pulled out of the soil. There are some other natives that have an extensive root system, and they're not as easy, but these, as you can see, don't have an extensive root system. I could have weeded this area earlier in the season, but because I did not have a replanting plan, I would never expose soil without having something to plant instead of the weeds or self-seeders, because exposed soil only invites more weeds. And I call it the no vacancy gardening. So anytime you expose soil, you either plant something instead of what was there before, or you have to mulch it. So when I had the time to weed, I had no plants. And I'd rather deal with the devil I know than the devil I don't, because who knows, it could be some terrible weed coming in here that is even harder to manage. So after I am done pulling all of these, I am going to replant it, and I got, I think, about 15 plants, which will be enough for here. Now there is another situation that I have going on here, and it's alliums. I have a lot of alliums blooming here in the spring. And as you guys know, alliums have not very attractive legs, or the leaves get very scraggly. So I picked plants that will hide the leaves during their blooming season. I specifically picked Nepeta because it's just an easy plant to grow. And in this particular spot, this receives probably 5 hours of sunlight, but it's a western exposure. And it has this very intense light that Nepeta can deal with. By the way, I forgot to orient you guys. So this is the sidewalk garden with the health strip that I've showed you many times. And if you walk over here, this is the area where I'm working. There's the kitchen door right there. And as you can see, I cleared everything that I wanted to clear and ready for planting. so it is the following day because I got rained out yesterday, and it is so beautiful out right now. It is significantly cooler than it was yesterday, but I am ready to finish this project. But before I start planting the plants, I actually wanted to show you the Solomon seal right here that I need to divide. So let me show you how to do it. I've had this Solomon seal here for about 7 years, and in some gardens it can get extremely aggressive. But in my garden, it creeps slowly. It probably tripled in size, not more than that, but I do love the plant. The foliage is beautiful, and they bloom with white flowers in the spring. They're obviously gone right now. They attract bees. Just a great ground cover, a little bit more height in the garden. But I actually need it to be a little bit more back. So I'm going to dig out some portions right here to free up more space and donate it to a project I'm working right now, a pro bono project for a family with a sick child. They have a garden that could use this plant, and this is actually kind of hard to find in the store, so that would be perfect. I also want to free some space for my Actea or Semicifuga that is about to bloom. This is a beautiful plant, but as you can see, the Solomon seal is kind of starting to encroach. So I got 9 plants out of those divisions, and some of them don't look that hot, but it is the end of the season, and Solomon seal dies to the ground in the winter, and next season they're going to have fresh new foliage. And this garden that I'm working on is partially shade, and there are some sunny areas, but in the shade garden we do have some eucharis going in, some Hakinacloas and Polymonium, which coincidentally I have right here planted in my garden, and I think it will be a beautiful combination. I could just see that. Also, these plants are now going to be planted for probably another week or 2. So what I'm going to do is just water them really well. They will be just fine. They are really, really hardy. I laid out the plants, and the plant I went with is Nepeta or Catmint Junior Walker. And I know this is a fairly common plant. There's nothing exotic about it, but sometimes you just have to rely on those workhorses in the garden. It blooms pretty much all season long, and most importantly, it will be covering the Allium legs while they're blooming, and it has that fluffy texture. It's a great contrast with the Allium. Actually, I worked on a project where I made that combo. It was really beautiful. And if I find a photo, I went to a garden tour this spring. Someone did exactly the same thing, and it also looked beautiful. But there's one plant that I bought the other day. This is Chelone or turtle head, and this is a beautiful native plant that I don't see enough of. So if you guys find it in the nurseries, definitely get it. So the flowers look like this. They look kind of like a turtle head-ish, I guess. And it's just a really cool plant, nice glossy leaves. So just to break up that sea of blue here, there's some pink flowers. So yes, I am very happy with this decision. Originally, I actually wanted to add some more plants like this lady's mantle and maybe geranium roseanne to kind of break it up, but I just want it simple. There's so much going on in the garden, there's so many layers, and to have this simple planting, I think this is exactly what I needed here. Okay, I'm all done, and I really like the simplicity of this. I actually forgot to mention that this Nepeta Junior Walker gets to about 2 feet tall and 2 feet wide, which is perfect for this spot and perfect to cover up those allium legs. And look at all of the bulbs that I dug up accidentally. I'm actually surprised just how few, because I have over 100 allium bulbs in this spot. And this is all I dug up. I think it's because of the shovel I'm using. I'm using a smaller floral shovel. It is the best thing. I absolutely love it. I plant most of my perennials and annuals with that shovel. Also, as you can see, I mulched the area because it is a must, or there will be more weeds. And by the time the mulch will start to break down, the catmint is going to be grown over the area, so I probably won't even have to mulch after this. But yeah, I'm really pleased with this. So actually the allium bulbs that I accidentally dug up, I will plant back in the ground. They are just fine, they're in perfect condition. And I forgot to mention that this combination, the Nepeta and the Allium, is 100% deer proof. If you live in a high deer pressure area, this is a beautiful combo for you to have. And I wanted to mention a couple of more plants that you could plant instead of Nepeta as a companion plant for alliums. If you have a sunny location, you can try salvia, you can try geums, ornamental grasses that are shorter in stature like Dischampsia or Cislaria will look beautiful. If you plant in your alliums in a little bit more of a shady spot, which in my experience is actually more shade tolerant than people think, you can pair them up with Terrella, Aquilegia, and Polymonium. Those will be beautiful combinations. This is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this little project and learned something new. I will definitely keep you updated when spring comes and how everything looks. But thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one.